power of seasonal work, folks. The power of seasonal work is an amazing thing. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? We're gonna have to find out. We'll talk about that here in a second, folks. Welcome here to Ross Travels, everybody. My name is Ross from Nebraska in the US, currently traveling around Australia as a taxi flies by me. Love to see it, folks. We talk about all things travel, from vlogs to sit-down videos, advice, motivation, hotel reviews, airline reviews, and everything in between. If it involves travel, we'll dabble in it, folks. We'll love it if you like and subscribe. If you're new here, thanks for clicking on this video, tuning in. If you're returning, thanks for the continued support. Some of you guys have been here for a long time. And I appreciate it, folks. So the power of seasonal work, what do I mean by that? Let's talk about it. This is the things I do for y'all.
I'm just a man. You're just a man.
All right, folks, the power of seasonal work. And what do I mean by the power of seasonal work? Now, I know I've said that a million times now. That's the title of this video. But the power of seasonal work is a beautiful thing. And what I mean by seasonal work is contract work. 3 months, anywhere from about 3 months to about 8 months normally. Some are longer, some are shorter. Some places are year round. And it's just kind of like an alternative way to live and to work and travel at the same time. That's always something that I wanted to do. Work and travel at the same time. How do I do that? And there's a couple of people that I need to shout out. And if you guys have watched my Welcome to Ross Travels video that I did in the middle of South Australia, handful of months ago, you guys would know that I said, we're not gonna hide anything on the channel. We're not gonna hide anything on the channel. We're not gonna keep information. We're not gonna keep ideas. We're not gonna keep credit away from anybody. If there's some credit that needs to be shared, credit's gonna be shared, you know? And credit needs to be shared right here, folks. First person I need to talk about, you've heard him on the channel a lot. This man is the reason why I've gotten into seasonal work in the first place and why I live this actual lifestyle. This is very relevant. And his name is Timothy Ward. If you haven't followed him on YouTube, go give him a subscribe. Stop what you're doing right now. Go over and subscribe to him and then come back. Come back and finish the video, obviously. But subscribe to him because he is the pure definition of seasonal work. He's in the seasonal work game right now, still. He was in the seasonal work game when I found his channel in 2017, when I was a junior in high school. I wasn't even graduated yet. And I would have never known about seasonal work until I found this guy's channel. And I didn't think about doing anything seasonal work related until 2 years later, watching his channel. I graduated high school and I'm like, this man keeps talking about seasonal work. This man keeps talking about coolworks.com, not sponsored. Let me see what this guy's talking about. And I was set to go to college. Decided not to go to college. Long story. Let me do the whole gap year thing. I've got a year to kill. This man keeps talking about seasonal work. Let's see. Hopped on coolworks.com, man. There's some cool little contract jobs out there. 5 months in North Dakota, 3 months in, Yellowstone National Park. 5 months in Zion National Park. I would have never known. The possibilities are endless because we have this cookie cutter way of living in the US. I call it the American stigma, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I want to give a shout out to Tim because he's the reason why I live this lifestyle, and it's evolved to taking it international and being here outside the country and in Australia for the last year and a half, folks. So that's number one. Number two, switch hands. My friend Chelsea, she actually talked about this just yesterday. She put up a YouTube short. She was doing a little road trip cross country. And I had this video idea on my list for a while. I just haven't gotten to it yet because I've been filming other things, which you would have seen by now. But she posted this video and I was like, I need to hop on here. But again, she gets the credit for me expediting this video idea up my list. She's gonna make a full video about this. Go follow Spiritual Nomad Life on YouTube, by the way. Shout out to Chelsea. I got to meet her in Bozeman, Montana. or actually in Big Sky, Montana, when we worked at Big Sky National Park. Sorry, Big Sky Ski Resort. And so shout out to Chelsea, shout out to Tim, and shout out to the Power of Seasonal Work. A lot of people don't know about seasonal work because they think there's only one way to live. And that's why I call it the American stigma, okay? And in seasonal work, they know that a lot of people are coming from overseas or out of state. It's not only just overseas, out of state. They're coming from out of state to work for 3 to 8 months. They're coming from overseas on a J1 visa, on an H-2B visa. Whether it be a sponsorship or something for their classes, or even just to work and that's it. Provide for their families, or to travel, to have a different lifestyle. And so you go and you work at these different places, you get a place to stay most likely. You most likely get meals, whether it be 1 meal a day or 3 meals a day. Okay, it depends on the place, depends. But most of these places have some sort of housing situation for cheap, subsidized accommodation because they know you're coming from X amount of place. And so it's way better than paying $1,500 a month for a studio apartment, I was working in North Dakota. I believe my accommodation was like $50 a week or something like that. Come on, that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer, It may have even been less, to be honest with you. And I've done seasonal work for the last, 6 years now? So I do get some of my places mixed up, but it was cheap. It's cheap. And so it's like, that's just the kind of lifestyle that some people wish to have and think they can't have, That's the thing that they wish they could have, think they can't have, but when they actually can. But they don't believe it because we grow up, again, and it's not just the US that does this. I know other countries have this sort of cookie cutter lifestyle, but I can't speak on other countries like that because I'm not a citizen from there. So I just want to be fair, I'm not gonna go talk about France and be like, they don't do it. Come on, that's not cool. But I am from the US and I know how we operate. Okay, I know how we operate. That's why I haven't been there in 2 years. Let's talk about the American stigma. I might make a separate video about this. I'm not gonna talk about this whole time. I'm already chewing up too much time here. And we're gonna talk about domestic and international seasonal work, by the way. But what I mean about the American stigma, okay? I normally start from when you graduate school, whether it be public school, private school, or homeschool. Once you graduate at 17, 18, 19 years old, then it's like the American stigma starts for me. Well, you have to go to college and you have to get a degree and you have to get a good paying job and you have to wear a suit and tie, and you have to have work in this big mega corporation and you have to make 6 figures a year or you're not gonna, you know what I mean? Through this big company specifically, and then you have to have a big house and you have to have 1 million kids and you have to have a mortgage and you have to, you know what I mean? And don't get me started with PTO. Again, all my Americans know. They don't want to admit it. They'll sit there and there should be no reason why we work for a whole year and get 3 days of PTO off. Come on now. A lot of people don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit it. They know it's true. Come on. Let's not lie here, folks. You know it's true. If you don't wear a suit and tie, you ain't looked after. Come on now. What are we doing? What are we doing? And so that's what I'm talking about. Let's turn around here. Running out of sidewalk. Ran out of sidewalk. That's the American stigma. And so it's like, all right, let's get out of the traditional lifestyle. If people want to live that lifestyle, fine. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I'm not trying to come after you. I'm not trying to say you're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying, for anyone out there who thinks they can't do anything else, you can. And that is the power of seasonal work. That's the power of seasonal work. Because you go, and that's the one thing I forgot to mention, the off season. That's the one thing I love. Speaking of PTO, the off season. You go work somewhere. You go work in North Dakota like I did for 5 months. Season's over, it's winter time, you're done. You don't need to go in shaking like a leaf to your manager's office and, can I have a week off? No. Season's done. Season don't start for another 6 months. You got 6 months off, my friend. You can do whatever you want. Now, a lot of people would just then sign up for winter seasonal work and just go straight there. But you can take 2 weeks off. You can take a month off. You can go overseas and come back and start a winter gig. You know, winter gigs start from a lot of different dates, you know? And so, you know, that's the power of the off season. It's the power of everything in this video. It's the power of the off season. You know, once the season's over, you've racked up your cash, because these seasonal, believe it or not, most of these seasonal places pay pretty decent. And when you take into account subsidized housing, subsidized meals, or even packages, you're saving all that money when you'd be spending $1 million a month on a studio apartment and takeout every day, you know? Groceries, well, groceries aren't that bad. But like, you know, so that's the other thing as well. You don't need to ask for time off. You can take time off after the season's done. You can take time off after the season's done, folks, and not have to worry about asking for 3 days off and be nervous about it. Come on. That's the power of seasonal work. That's the power of seasonal work. You know, I've done Big Sky Ski Resort. I've done Medora, North Dakota. I've done Glacier National Park. I've worked in California for 4 months. Now, that was a seasonal gig, but I was with Amazon, but it wasn't like a pure seasonal gig. It's different. But I've done little temporary jobs like that. And that's what happens when you get out there and just say, hey, we can live different. We can live different. You meet so many people from around the world. France, I met people from France, Poland, Dominican Republic. And then I actually went to the Dominican Republic after my season was over, in the off season, the power of the off season. I met so many people from the Dominican Republic up in North Dakota because they were on a visa. And they went home after my season was over. I went to go see them. Well, I had to wait a year because of COVID. But the next year, I went down to Santo Domingo, spent a week in Santo Domingo. I'll put a video up on the screen. It's in my intro. The power of the off season, folks. The power of the off season. I'm not gonna talk about that too much, folks. I want to get into some international examples as well. But check out coolworks.com, not sponsored, coolworks.com in the US, my favorite website, every seasonal worker's favorite website. You make so many friends from around the world and in the country as well. And you get to go to the respective states and go to the respective countries and not to feel bad about it, folks. You get to go see the world and do it that way. So a lot of people ask me, Ross, when you're out and about in the world, when you're out in Indonesia, when you're out in the Dominican Republic, when you're out in Australia, what about health insurance? What about insurance? What about travel insurance? And what about staying connected to the world? How do you do that without all these US numbers, all this US insurance, all this US blah, 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 which is all expensive, by the way. $1 million for health insurance, that don't even, don't get me started. Folks, that is where today's sponsor comes in. Just kidding. No sponsors. I do have some affiliate links with these 2 places though. 2 places in particular, and then we'll get to some international travel, folks. First one I want to talk about is SafetyWing travel insurance, Nomad insurance as well. SafetyWing covers you for pretty much everything. I mean, anything travel related, delays, lost baggage, hotels that you didn't anticipate paying for, super long layovers, cancellations, if the airline don't look after you. Looking at you, US. And I'm gonna get canceled. Emergency health, emergency dental. There's like some little add-ons you can add on, for electronics, electronics cover, adventurous cover, skydiving, bungee jumping, rock climbing, that kind of thing. SafetyWing covers all of you for that. It's gotta be the terms and conditions, of course, but I'm not being paid to say that, don't say it. But I just used them 2 weeks ago. I had a pretty nasty virus, and I just used them 2 weeks ago. I got a little claim back, for all my little prescriptions and stuff like that, little small fees and stuff that I had to pay at the pharmacy, at the clinic just down the road. 5-minute drive. So shout out to SafetyWing, folks, covers you everywhere. You could have automatic payment just keep rolling over. You can only pay for a month. Hell, you got 2 weeks. I'm only gonna be gone for 12 days. You can only pay for 12 days and that's it. Come on back and that's it. That's what I'm talking about, folks. So link is in the description, folks. Check it out. It is an affiliate link, so I do get a little something, something from it. Want to help the boy out. It is not a sponsorship. Second thing, as I change hands, Nomad eSIM, stay connected. Nomad eSIM to stay connected. Again, they ain't paying me to say this, but I have used Nomad eSIM quite a few times. Now I use a lot of eSIM companies. Just gonna keep it real, you know? But I have used Nomad eSIM as well. I've used it when I went to go see my buddy Fareed in Singapore. Shout out to Fareed. I used it when I went to go to Bali last year on a group trip. Shout out to Zoe and company, the whole group. I've used it a number of times. You don't want to get slapped with all those crazy roaming fees, folks. Those crazy roaming fees. The minute you go out of the country and you land somewhere else and get slapped with a $200 fee for 2 gigs per day. Come on, from your home provider. What are we talking about, folks? What are we talking about? Again, not a sponsorship, I do have a referral code though. The next four people that use my referral code get $5 off. So hey, you know, you guys know what to do. Shout out to Nomad eSIM, they got all kinds of plans, covers you in 200 plus countries. It's amazing, quick and easy. I mean, it's so easy to set up, by the way. 5 minutes in your setup. Purchase your eSIM, you give yourself a little code and a QR code, or if you want to do it manually, they have a code you copy and paste into your phone, go into, you know, your eSIM portion of your settings, enter it in, activate the eSIM, boom, you're done. Boom, you're done. And it activates itself, folks. You activate it once you land in the new country, boom, you're covered. From whatever plan you choose, folks. Shout out to Nomad eSIM, shout out to SafetyWing. Let's get back into the video. All right, folks, now I just want to talk about the international part of seasonal work, and then we're gonna get out of here, folks. How I found my international seasonal work. And the reason why I wanted to work and travel at the same time, internationally, take it international, was actually via CoolWorks, actually. I mean, I think I said actually twice. But back in 2022, I believe, they don't post a lot of international stuff that often. And I was scrolling through it, and I believe I found something that was in the South Island of New Zealand. Now, I wasn't in a position to go to New Zealand at the time, but I'm like, we have a chance to take this international. Hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, it may not be right away, it may not be overnight, but hell yeah, we can do that. So I saved that tab for 1.5 years, and I got to a point where, okay, it's January 2024. My lease, January 2023. So I'm actually miscalculating my time here, but January 2023, my lease at my apartment ends in November 2023. I've got 10 months, give or take, to make all this money, make some moves, and get out of here. I reached out to that place and said, hey, what do I need to do to get the hell out of here? And get out there to New Zealand. Come on, it's sick. That's so sick. What do I need to do to get out there? And they said, unfortunately, they got wiped out with a pretty nasty typhoon, I believe it was. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So unfortunately, I couldn't get out there. But the same visa that they were gonna bring me on, it's like, wait a minute. Well, that same visa I was gonna go on to get out there, I could still go on that same visa and work anywhere else in Australia and New Zealand. That's called the Work and Holiday visa, folks. I've got a 3-part series on my channel, so go check that out. I won't talk about that here. This video is already getting a little bit long. But that Work and Holiday visa, once I found that and once I saw that, looked up on YouTube immediately. Running out of sidewalk, let's turn around. Looked on YouTube, said, hey, let's find a video. Let's find a video. Found a video, and shout out to my friend Victoria, #VixVlogs, or @VixVlogs. Her video was the first one I saw. It was a packing video. She's from the UK, getting ready to come out to Australia. And ever since I saw that video, and ever since I saw how easy it was as an American to get a Work and Holiday visa video, I was locked in. I was locked in. The power of the Work and Holiday visa, the power of research. And once you get here, you can work and travel at the same time. That's the purpose of this video. Basically seasonal work in Australia. You can work for 3 months on a casual contract here in Queensland. I've worked in South Australia. I've worked in WA, Western Australia, twice. One for 4 months, one for 3 months. I've worked in Victoria in Melbourne for 2.5 months. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. And so it's the power of season work, folks. Now, the work and holiday visa isn't for every single country, so look it up. Some countries have different agreements with each other, so it all just depends on that. It depends on your passport. I'm not gonna go over that because we're gonna be here forever. But look out for that, folks. Look out for that. Now I'm gonna leave you with this. And I, again, met so many friends out here from all over the world. I'm getting ready to go to Malaysia with my best friends, Mika and Tom, next week from this video. So Malaysia content coming soon, folks. Malaysia content coming soon, next week. And more things to come in the coming months. With so many people that I met going to their respective countries and going to so many places that I haven't been before. Getting to try it out, folks. And so I'll leave you with this. You are not stuck at your job. You are not stuck in that cold ass office job, wearing a suit and tie forever, okay? Even if your boss says you can't do anything, you can't make it, you can't succeed, fuck that. Pardon my French, but fuck that. It is time to get out and live the life you want to live. Get your passport, by the way. I'm, 22 minutes in, I'm just now saying that. Get your passport, travel the world, okay? My mom just got her passport. Shout out to my mom, by the way. Just got her passport. We're going on a trip this year. I still don't know where, but I have some ideas. But she's watching this probably, so I can't say anything, okay? So it's gonna be at an undisclosed tropical location. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith.
Because me, myself, when I talked about that invention, I
Aren't
actually
you in
wanted it for
Miami?
myself. I
Aren't
actually
you in
wanted it for
Miami?
myself. Well, I'm at an undisclosed tropical location, if you want to if you really want to know. I'm at an undisclosed tropical location. But I can assure you, where I'm at outside, it's at least 80. That's how I like it.
But you get your passport, travel the world. You are not stuck in your job. You are not stuck anywhere. Even if you do these seasonal gigs and you feel like, okay, this is not for me, you go home. You go home. Nothing is holding you to these places, folks. If you can get out of a corporate job, you can get out of a seasonal gig. Come on. You know what I mean? Like, come on. So you are not stuck at your job. You do not have to live the traditional lifestyle, working 9 to 5 until you're 95. I'm gonna trademark that before someone else gets it. I need to bring that back. I said that a while ago. I need to bring it back before someone takes it. Don't work 9 to 5 until you're 95. Don't feel like you're stuck in your job. Don't feel like, and also, last thing as well, don't just look at 1 or 2 flights and think, oh, I can't do it. Don't lose hope. Don't lose motivation. Just because you see 1 flight to a place you want to go and it's expensive, doesn't mean the whole trip's gonna be expensive. That's another thing that drives me nuts, folks. People want to go somewhere. Oh, I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to France. They look at 1, 2 flights on Google Flights. Oh, it's out of my budget, so it's always gonna be cheap. Come on, man. The power of research. I think I said that already. The power of research is a beautiful thing. Mess around with some dates. Mess around with a different time. Go in the off season. See how it comes back? The power of the off season. Okay? There's so many different tips and tricks you can do. Don't just look at the first 2 flights and say, oh, that flight's expensive, so everything's gonna be expensive. That's not true. That's not true. Happens with Southeast Asia all the time, especially with my American friends. I mean, yeah, granted, we're on the other side of the world, but I found a flight from Los Angeles to Bali, Indonesia for $350. $350, I mean, yeah, it was one way, but $350 bucks. $700 round trip. Are you kidding me? That's a steal. That's a steal. Yeah, I was on American Airlines, but it's good. What are we talking about, folks? So you gotta play around with some stuff. You gotta play around and don't let the obligations get in the way either. Don't say, oh, well, I've gotta do this, this, and this. Okay, well, plan something for after that. Oh, I've got a mortgage to pay, I've got rent to pay. All right, well, end that goddamn lease. When your lease ends, it's about time you start getting out traveling the world. Like I did. That's exactly how I did it. My lease ends, it's time to go. I ain't coming back. You know what I mean? Don't make a bunch of excuses. Get out there, travel the world. You know you can, you know you want to. And make it happen, folks. Again, Southeast Asia. Yeah, you can have, a semi-expensive flight to Southeast Asia. But when you get to Southeast Asia, all your meals are $1. $1. Okay, I had a plate of pad thai and a Sprite. I'll put a picture up on the screen. Had a pad thai and a Sprite at a market in Thailand. That was like $2.50. Maybe even that, not even that. What are we talking about? Like, you know? So that's the power of seasonal work, folks. That's the power of the off season. It's the power of research. And that's the power of watching Ross Travels. Okay, if you don't have me on Instagram, folks, get me on Instagram, rosstravelsofficial, Instagram and TikTok. Like and subscribe here on YouTube. Share with the folks you know, share with the folks you don't know. Shout out to Tim and Chelsea as well. Go subscribe to their channels as well. They are locked in the seasonal game. They've been doing it longer than me. So they are locked in. And any questions you have, put them down below. Anything I missed, any questions, any comments, anything. Or even if you want to talk amongst each other in the comment section, go for it. Just be respectful, please. You know? And that's all I've got, folks. You are not stuck in your job. You can do it. You can travel the world. Get your passport. Stop messing around and get out of that damn suit. Get out of that suit, okay? Be kind to each other. Love one another. And I'll see you guys around the world. Here we go.